Hey guys, today we're going to be doing this look right here. This is my go-to look if I have to go out and I don't have a ton of time to sit around and do my makeup. This is the go-to. It's a little bit bronzy and just a good look if you're going out. Matches with pretty much everything because it's pretty neutral. So I hope you guys enjoy. Please give me a thumbs up down below as well as subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you next time. First, what we're going to do is we're going to prime our eyes. I use the MAC Prep and Prime 24-Hour Extended Eye Base. As you can tell, this has been used a bunch of times. It's super dirty. It works really well, keeps the eyeshadow on for a long period of time. So just take a little bit of that on your finger. Just go into the eyelid. I like to use my finger, it works a little bit better than using a brush, and I feel like you get better coverage and application when you use your finger than with a brush. I'm able to get in all the creases and crevices. Then you always want to set your primer with a powder. I personally like to use Kat Von D's Shade and Light palette, and then I also use the double-ended Kat Von D Shade and Light brush as well. I use this every single time I put on my makeup. So I'm gonna go in with this color right here. As you can see, I only use this color basically. They now come in a refillable palette, which I wish I had, but I don't at this point in time. I'm just gonna go dip in and you're gonna set the powder. You wanna press instead of swiping, just to really pack in that primer onto the eyelid and really set it. Get in that inner corner right there. Alright, so at this point we have clean, primed lids. My eyebrows are already done, so we're going to go in with our first color. It's our transition shade. You always want to have a transition shade, even though when you put it on it feels mostly unnecessary, but it's not. So your transition color is going to help a ton for later, just making it look nice and blended and beautiful instead of having those really harsh lines. So we're going to go in with the Jaclyn Hill and Morphe palette. You can tell I really don't keep my palettes very clean at all. They're so dirty. This palette is, it's just so damn good. These colors are incredible. The payoff for all of them are so worth it. You get all of these colors, all of them. It's crazy. We're gonna go in, this is my go-to transition shades. This color right here, using a nice and fluffy blending brush by Sephora. This is my ride or die brush. It's a little pink, it's even a mini. I really should upgrade, but I'm just so dedicated to this darn thing. I use it all the time. So we're gonna go into this color. Always tap off the excess. Do you see all? You don't need that. It's just gonna get all over where you don't want it to go, down below, underneath your eye. It just looks bad. So we're gonna go in and you wanna keep this on the outer crease. I always start right here. We're just gonna do this windshield wiper movement. Boop, 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 boop. And then I do tiny circles to buff it out. You want to really make sure that this is nice and buffed out because it kind of sets the tone for how the rest of the colors are going to fade as you go through this look. We're going to keep this guy nice and soft brown just because we're going to throw a lot more warmer shades into the mix in a second. Okay, so now that we have our transition color nice and blended out, we're going to go in using a Morphe 433 brush. Morphe has the best brushes for such a low cost. I'm definitely a big fan of Morphe brushes. We're going to go in with this color right here and tap into that. Once again, tap off the excess. You don't need all that. We're just gonna go in slightly lower, right below that transition color, and then you wanna blend out into it. Definitely not as free-handed windshield wiper motions on this guy just because you're gonna completely buff out that color too far. And then your eyeshadow is like way out here and it's just, like, how did we get here? Always keep your transition color brush on hand because you can take it and just blend out this color a little bit more. Just buff it if you feel like the edges are getting harsh, and then bam! Back to normal. we're gonna go in and take a darker color. You guys are getting it at this point. So we're going on with this guy right here, just to, once again, add a little more dimension. So now we have just this nice dark tone, deep dimension going on right there. So now we're going to dip into another of my go-to palettes. I feel like it got a lot of great reviews when it first came out and a lot of people really liked it, and then it just kind of fell off. And I don't understand because I love this palette. This is the Graveyard Girl Swamp Queen palette by Tarte. The only complaint that I have with this palette is the fallout. There is a lot of fallout, but I feel like the color payoff is so pigmented and blends so nicely that I'm honestly willing to overlook it because I love this palette. So we're gonna go in with a Morphe blending brush from the Copper collection. This one, I will say, has a much more precise look about it. This one's a little more fluffy for more of the outer edges. This one's gonna be a little more precise for closer to the lash line work. Going into the Swamp Queen palette, we're going to use this color right here, which is called Dog Man. That's fun. For the outer crease, I always use matte colors, but as I get closer, I start transitioning into more glitter-based colors. I just like sparkle, so I don't see anything wrong with that. These colors are very, very pigmented, so I just boop, boop, and tap off the excess. If you don't tap off the excess, you will have Dog Man. No. You will have it all over your face, underneath your eyes, and if you're a person that does your foundation first, it'll just ruin everything. It's orange, it's very pigmented. You don't want it there. You just don't. Go in, actually right on top of that Morphe color, the last one that we blended out, just to add a little more of an orange hue to it. So we have that going. Everything is nice and blended, I feel. Then you always want to go in, I like a dark outer corner eye. I'm going to go in with another Morphe brush from that same collection. We're going to go in, this is a different brush. This one is a little more chiseled towards the top, so it concentrates a lot of product right there. This guy is more for packing and slightly blending color, so you can get a nice amount of color on either side of this, pack it in, pack, 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 and then blend it out at the same time. Again with Swamp Queen, and this is my favorite color. It's called Sippy Sippy. It's like a chocolate brown color with a lot of gold glitter in it. And you're just gonna concentrate that right on the outer corner. Next, we're going to go in with the Dose of Colors Desi and Katy collection. We're gonna go in with Noli, this nice brown color right here. Just gonna dip into this with our finger. Boop, boop. And there we go. Next, to go in with, from the same Desi and Katy collection, I'm going to go in with their highlighter called Fuego. Because we need to fill this spot right here, I'm gonna go in with my finger and just whoop, whoop. Ooh, it's so buttery. After we have that, we're gonna go in with another Morphe brush from the same collection. I love to use this brush on my inner corner. It's very dense, it's small. Go in with Fuego. Now that is the eyeshadow portion. I will be right back. I'm gonna go do my eyeliner and some lashes, and then we're gonna do this face. Goodness, look at that. It's just so warm in there. Make a wish. Good job.